Yes. Hello, teacher. Hello, everyone. My name is Chang Eun. Today, I would like to speed reading lesson one, the formula, the source of life, and Silator 30 and speed 11. Yes, I'm on tracks. I'm ready. Okay, let's go. Let's on the formula of the source of life. Reading one. Currently, our society is being governed by three perspectives. The first perspective is scientific perspective. The second is the religious and belief perspective, and the third is the perspective is a morality principle. Regardless of where we live in the world, we are currently being influenced by these perspectives. And one of the laws that influences us greatly is the laws of cause and effect, as the laws of cause and conditions interactions. If we imagine our current life is our current results simply the outcome of sins we sorrow in the past. There is a formula called the formula of the source of life. What is a what is this formula? Let's find out. Formula of desired outcomes. Good cause fa- favorable conditions equal desired outcome. Therefore, if we want to create a desired future, shouldn't we focus on creating the good cause right in present moment? This knowledge, diligence, and belief, science and morality principle only to one statement. We need to understand the rules of course of person's life to this three perspective to be considered to have thorough understanding of the cause when standing under the scientific perspective. Why do I have this result today? If standing under the religious and belief perspective, why do I have this result today? If stand if standing under the perspective of morality principle, why do I have this result today? First, let's thoroughly understand the cause from the scientific perspective to discuss the source of life of a person, teachers and belief, moralities, principle, science. The formula of the source of life. We take a piece of paper and write down the word results at the bottom and circle it. Then draw an arrow leading to the results. If we had to choose one word that directly represents the results of life today that affects our life results. It would be choice, especially the matrix that choice directly affects the results of our life today. But let's deeply, is it true that the trains of choices we made in the past determine the results of our lives today? When we reflect, when often grant ourselves the right to choose the good things in life. However, when it comes to unpleasant things, the tendency of our inner self is to attribute the choice to others. If we take conflict, even the desirable and undesirable situations in life are owing to our own choices, and we will understand that the source of life originates from ourselves. Therefore, the source of life originates from me, and it is not my fault. Wait, why? Why it's not my fault? It is because we didn't know any better. If our awareness had been better, we would not have made the choice. At that time, our awareness was only at that level, which led to that choice. Therefore, the choice we made at that exact moment was correct. That is a famous saying, if we want to change circumstances, change our personality. This explains that personality repeated created the same circumstances due to their form personality. However, we do not know what kind of personality is suitable for a good outcome. So if we focus on changing personality, it is not just the root cause. This is because no specific personality trait dictates that a person's life will be good. Researchers studying whereas people found that persons became rich in one way and another in different ways. They had different personality, and therefore any personality can potentially lead to wealth, but any personality can also lead to poverty. Ultimately, people realize even if they change their personalities, they wouldn't know which one was appropriate. Thus, focus on training personality is not the root cause, and the results will still repeat. When you don't train your personality, you don't train the results. Just focusing on training personality doesn't work because it is the root cause. The experts inform us that a person's habits create their personality after this idealization. They started asking us to focus on training habits. Good habits will lead to good personality results in good choices. After some time, people discover that training habits changes personality and changing personality change the results. However, they realize that habits are also not the root cause. They investigate further and found that person's action determine their habits. So they say has just a good action will lead to a good habit. Good habit leads to good personality, and good personality will lead to a good destiny or good life result. From this, they try to manage people actions, but discover that actions still repeat and out pattern, and training a person action are very difficult. The success in training the action, but focus on training action does not last. Eventually, experts provide us with the insight that person thought to determine their actions. They told that good thought will create a good action. Good actions will result in good habits. The good habit will lead to good personality, which then leads to the final result choice. That's the saying goes. So a thought driven action. So an action driven a habit. So a habit driven a personality. So a personality driven a destiny. The entire world focused on how people could cultivate good mindsets and good thought. However, through deeper research over time, people discover that even when they try to control their thoughts, negative thoughts still repeatedly emerge in their lives. These thoughts were always present in their mind. They began to investigate what determines the person's thoughts. If a corresponding thought a person continues to repeat negative thoughts in life, the question is raised what shapes a person's thought. High-level mentors and experts point out to us that it is their belief that shape their thoughts. Beliefs, essentially, humans always hold belief about something. This belief can be counter to their desire allies with their desire. This is all known as a positive or negative belief. For example, someone says, I keep trying to lose weight, but I can't lose any. So this correct. I keep trying, but it doesn't work. Normally, our thinking assesses that they lack the belief and their ability to lose weight. However, the deeper trust is that person holds belief that they are very fat and will never be able to become thin. Whatever belief a person holds, their life results will form accordingly. Accordingly, this is because belief directly affect their choices, and whatever belief is how the results manifest. If hold the belief that cannot do something, the results is that we cannot do it. Human belief does not have a 90% uh, belief is 100% conviction that you hold to believe. The difference lies only in the direction that belief, whether aligns with or goes against the design. If human knows this knowledge, it would be wonderful. So if one believes I am not beautiful, no matter what I do, I am not beautiful, the result is that person's believes they are ugly, so nothing they do makes them beautiful. Therefore, some people imitate other and those job. Their in belief is that a very ugly person getting a nose job will sometimes result in them damaging their nose. Conversely, a person who already believes and they are beautiful when they get a produce, it makes them even more beautiful. People who hold the belief that are happy become happier when they get married. Obviously, if we hold the belief that are miserable, then whoever we marry, we will remain miserable. There was a story about a woman whose husband will launch a book. He was a famous self-development trainer reported instead of interviewing read a church trick and turned to his wife, asking your husband is very famous development trainer and he has helped many people change their lives become happy, but honestly, has he brought happiness to you? The woman answered immediately no. Everyone around was alarmed, wondering why she says it would be damage to her husband's reputations. Another reporter passed on asking so has your husband she bought you're happy life so and she said no. Then another person skillfully asked a more pen-ended question. The woman smiled and replied, how can a man bring happiness to a woman? A woman must be happiness on her own, and only then can man bring her more happiness. He hasn't brought me happiness. I must be a happy person, and he is just one who brings me more happiness. Internally, we like to believe that other loves us. We don't believe our husband or children loves us, so we trust and demand their loves. And what is the resulting outcome? People do not love us because internally we like that so we don't see the results externally. Therefore, we only need to train our inner belief system to change the results. Here is the concept we need to grasp the inner believers and consciousness design. For example, when a woman or a man gets married, then they expect marriage to be harmonious and happy. However, deep down, some people inner belief does not influence harmonious and happy marriage. So the conscious design is for harmonious and happy marriage, but if the inner belief is contracted, this design result is that the inner belief always tries over the conscious design. If the inner beliefs and the conscious design are unified, uh, life becomes wonderful. The conscious design usually for good things. For example, a happy marriage, success in work, and good relationship with people, almost everything which is positive outcomes. If the conscious design is unfair with the inner belief, human life is wonderful. Human structure at this point between thought and belief. This is a crucial gateway of the brain, mindset, and the person's inner subconscious, which often conflict with each other. Ultimately, the inner self will human to try their conscious mindset to change the inner self, and silence often favors this approach. If science we try correct the life people who know science would be able wonderful. However, the scientific perspective shows that some belief are the what is to meet our results. Therefore, we must train the belief system to change results. Your thinking about its internal will not change the results. However, beliefs is also because some training beliefs doesn't suffice. We don't know how we trust the a certain person, so we raise the next question: what determines the person belief? That is, the person mental images. It's a set of mental image. It's determines our beliefs. The set of mental images in our mind determines our belief, which determines the results of our lives. Mental images. Let's coordinate a small exercise. Choose two people closest to people we feel most familiar with. Then, without thinking right, then on a particular both side, then instantly choose to find that evoke mental image of our feelings and emotions about that person. You can stop and do this exercise here and then continue dating because we have that sense of mental image in our head. It projects the results of our lives externally. We see our father as handsome, funny, gentle, but sometimes other people might not see his gentleness. They might even see him as a trick. Yes, we see him as gentle. In our eyes, even when he sleeps, we might perceive and as the reason why we assume he must be child, which is why he is asleep. But if he sees a mental image with our father is listener, then even when he was working, we might say, look at that lazy attitude. The results of our external lives are projected from the seeds of mental images in our minds. The story of the pen. Let's borrow this story from Jason's microbiology. Imagine we are holding an object we frequently use, perhaps a pen or writing tool. Now consider another creature, a very intelligent animal living in our house, a puppy. When we see it, we call it a pen or writing instrument because we use it to write. But when the puppy encounters this object, it chews on it. The puppy's action of choosing makes us think the puppy perceives this object as a bond or choice, which is why it chooses. If the puppy perceives this as a pen, it would use it right. This means we see this object and call it a pen because we visualize into it right. It, what about the puppy process nor interest true is ability that's a child or born? Who is right in our opinion? The puppy perceives this as a bond or choice and we perceive it as a pen or writing instrument. Both are correct. But let's put that object in the room. No one is there. Neither us not the puppet of not also here. What is object? It's nothing at all. It's not that it doesn't exist, but because there is no subject perceived, it's no subject recognizing, it's no subject feeling at that moment, is nothing mean doesn't exist. All things have a nature of emptiness. All things have a nature of emptiness potentialities. It is nothing when there is no subject perceiving it. So what it is raised by a subject that recognizes and the subject that perceives it. Now we step in and we look at that object. At the moment, it's when the job step in, it will proceed it's as tolerable or born. It will puppy step in the same time for us. It is when a puppy is born. So a specific question arises: what determines the nature of that object? Is determined by external natures affecting us, or is it replaced from this visitors to the outside? We define the natures of these objects is determined by what is within our by the system of mental images in our mind that dictates what this object is. The system of mental images in our mind projects outwards to manifest that duality early, early earlier we said the father essential we father is neither gentle nor anyone, but because we have that mental image side, it projects outward. Our father being gentle, decision or complaining is based on our condition. Perceived in that way. So mental images within a person determine the results and different the external life reality. Therefore, the one they perceive based on the mental images they have. So, if we want to change the external world, or in other words, if we want to change our destiny according to scientific perspective, training the mental images, changes destiny, changing the mental images, changes destiny, changing the mental image changes destiny. The tendency of our inner uh, physiological life is very interesting. The longer people live together, if a person does not nurture and enlarge positive mental images that how about their loved ones, the negative images will manifest. This is a miraculous phenomena of the police of light and darkness. The principle of light says that the closer we live to someone, if we don't enlarge the positive images we have of them by default, unpleasant image will images in our minds. That is when we first meet someone, we generally have positive mental images of each other, but the longer we live together, is the we follow positive images of other people, person, and present images will manifest. The undesirable reality often occur. Society relationship leading to thought like my neighbor is why is better, my neighbor's try is better than mine. Someone else's husband is better, my husband is not good. Other people wives are beautiful, other people wives are good. Why? Because we only meet the neighbor husband or wife breed. And so beautiful message but on a husband because they don't know how to enlarge the positive images. We see the poor images. We only need to change the image towards the direction we desire to orient our image towards what we want. If we have good and beautiful images, the belief system will automatically change, the results will change an important. Therefore, a person can maintain beautiful images of loved ones, especially positive images of people. We trans our interest. People maintain a good images, maintaining a good social relationship, maintaining a good images, maintaining a good images of our finances, changing the mental images, changing destiny. We only need to have our one simple realization according to scientific perspective. The source of lies originate from the mental images in our mind. We only need to remember one thing: the system mental images in our mind determine the results of our life today. This letter for now saying if one fully writes this, every matter should begin with the result. Every matter should begin with the results. Because the simplest way to achieve anything we are about to do is to start from the results. For example, why is so typical to a person's marriage to be happy because we do not start the marriage by defining the results of marriage as the results of we have our based on of the results around our my house the image of the bad marriage results. Also, when we start, we already have that human endeavors start from the results of such follows the matter with a person's mind is the result of external reality. When the destination is in, there is no need to rush. If the destination is unseen, why rush? When we start with the results, our journey automatically changes. It is like knowing where we are going, no matter the means of transport. We can get there, but if we don't know where our destination is, even if we are impediment with the most modern facility, we cannot reach the destination. Thus, every matter should begin with the result. The result is from the mental images in our mind. Therefore, simply training the mental image changes destiny. When the image is clear, our life becomes clear. Hence, every matter begins with the results. So we can conclude that according to scientific perspective, at the moment the system of mental images in our mind determines the results of our lives. Now the question is raised. What determines the mental images in our mind? This is because of those images appear spontaneously in our head when we hear, see, say, and know, determines the mental images in our mind. It is precisely what we hear, what we see, what we say, what we know that determines our mental images. What are talking with most often is the knowing that is detrimental. The future current, the knowing together the man is highly detrimental. The mental images we have most of the images we are negative. The knowing together try education with those images that are not very positive. Knowing about this lies, knowing about people with the disadvantages, images of people, knowing we have about career and business in life makes things increasing dangerous, especially our knowing about health. This knowing has influenced us from birth until now because according to the scientific perspective, we cannot say about the time because so for a moment we are born until now what we know what is and what we hear and influences our mental images. We live in a time of bliss or light, where the average lifespan of people between 120 and 160 years would be feel old and decrease if we were 16 years old, or always still feel like we are in earlier years. What we know about health, what we hear about health, what we see about health, and what we say about health is different from those who live in village in lineage, where average lifespan is 60 or 60. People around 60 years are mostly waiting now. If we were 60, then wouldn't we feel like we were about to go close to death? We live in a lineage where the average monthly income of adults is around 24 million Vietnam đồng. How do you feel today in our 200 million Vietnam đồng? How would we feel? So what we hear is saying now determine our mental images, but it's the entire and structural just to effort food. The highest income anyone has 20 million or 30 million Vietnam đồng. How would we feel with an income to 200 million Vietnam đồng? Wonderful, right? If only one star appears in the sky, in the future constellations of stars will appear. Therefore, in society, when someone achieves something wonderful and excels, it's related to trace of star images. What people hear, see, say, and know will gradually change accordingly, and we will trace the image of societies. At that time, achieves peace and joy is simpler than being angry. In the future, someone will say that comprehensive wealth is simpler than poverty. Gradually, what people hear, see, say, and know will change, and society will undergo a massive shift. If only a few people truly understand life, society will also understand life, because what is heard, so seen, spoken, and known is constantly changing. There is a Japanese stories about Richard studying the behavior of an intelligent monkey. The monkey loves sweet potato, so scientists use them sweet potato. But first, Morism is sent to observe their reactions. The monkey lies them, but from the scent unpleasant, they still hatches. One miracle is a female monkey excited or put her sweet potato in the water. She picked it up and it refines this from a general towards a portrait from before it is towards the father, and gradual marriage towards the surrounding family, scientific method, every monkey, and learn the washing method. When the when the 100 monkey was reached, something surprised happened. The monkey had not been in contact with any other monkey and had never been taught how to wash a potato. But when given the potato is constantly went to find water and wash it. Observing our monkey from the 101st one were working and gradually all know to read. The phenomenon even spread to other islands despite the geography distance. The monkey, where monkey could not possibly travel between islands, the monkey that also knew how to wash the potato. Personal life and society will continuously transform when we train what we hear, see, say, and know, and train the mental images of our future. This alignment of conditions will help others train in the future as well. Therefore, when living in a family, we are determined to transform ourselves first. Over time, as our mental image train regarding ourselves and those around us, the family automatically changes too. Though there is no need to seek change, is other just focus on training ourselves. This means training our mental images about themselves and our lovers. It means training our knowing about ourselves, our knowing about humanity, and our knowing about loss of course condition and results. This is how we train the images as subsequently the training which to say the formula of training the image, they control what you see and so train what you say and know. Then we train destiny. First we train the knowing, then train the saying and control the hearing and seeing gradually training the mental image changes destiny. Okay, then that's all. Thank you for your listening.